Welcome to CrashMagic. In this video we've got a card trick called the Impossible Location by Martin Gardner. I hope you enjoy watching the performance, and if you do and you want to learn this trick, there's a tutorial immediately after. So for this trick we need a spectator, and we're going to attempt to do an impossible card location. Let's just remove the jokers, and then we are ready to begin. Now we want to split this deck into 3 piles of cards. So the first thing I'd ask you to do is cut roughly a third of the deck off the top and place that here. Then cut the remaining deck roughly into half and place that here. That's perfect. And now we have 3 roughly equal piles of cards. I'd now like you to shuffle the 3 piles starting with this one, and it's really important as you're shuffling, make sure I'm not able to see the faces of the cards. I don't want you to give me any chance of glimpsing any of those cards. Okay, next, this middle pile. Again, give them a good shuffle. Now this is really important because this is the pile which contains your card. So when you're happy, take a look at the card on the bottom of this pile. I'll look away so I can't see it, and if you can remember this card, and then place this pile on top of the shuffled pile. Now if you take the final pile and again shuffle, make sure I can't see any cards, but that the cards are really well mixed. And then once you're done, place this on top of the other cards. So all the cards have been shuffled and you've selected a card that I couldn't possibly know, but of course what I do know is your card is about a third up from the bottom. So if you now cut the cards, and cut the cards as many times as you like, so then I have no idea where in the pack your card is. Okay, I'm going to attempt to locate your card, and for this I need you to concentrate on the card you selected. Think of that card. Actually picture the card so that you can see it in your mind. Now really see the colour of the card, and don't say anything out loud, but just in your mind say the colour black or red to yourself. Okay, now focus on the value of the card. See the number or letter that would be at the top left of the card. Okay, so I have a card, but have I been able to impossibly locate your card? Well, I hope you enjoyed that performance of the impossible location. I adapted it just very slightly, so I'll start with the tutorial of the trick exactly how it was originally designed, and then I'll mention that small tweak I made. So this is a really easy one to learn, it's self-working, and the secret is all in the setup. So before the trick starts, you need to separate all the black cards and all the red cards, and then place the reds on top of the blacks. You could at this point of course do a false shuffle to maintain that setup, and you then ask a spectator to cut about a third from the top of the pack. Now they can cut anywhere as long as it's roughly a third. You don't want them cutting down towards the middle. So they cut a third and place it here. Now because of the setup of the cards, all these cards will be red. You then ask them to cut the remaining pack in half, so another third, and place that here. Now this middle third of the pack is going to contain some reds and some blacks, and then that leaves this pile here in the middle, originally the bottom of the pack, and this is all going to be black cards. You then get the spectator to shuffle the first pile of cards, which are of course all reds. You then get them to shuffle the middle pile of all the blacks and look at and remember the bottom card, which in this case is the 6 of clubs, and then place that pile on top of the pile of reds. And finally you ask the spectator to shuffle the third pile, so they're effectively mixing the reds and blacks in this pile together, and then you get them to place this pile on top of the rest. Now, because both you and the spectator know their card is about a third up from the bottom, I always let them cut the cards at this point as much as they like, so neither of us know where the card is. So once they're happy, we then take the cards and look through them, not letting the spectator see the cards. So here we have a group of blacks together. We've got a big group of blacks together here. Then we've got a group of cards that are a mixture of blacks and reds. And here at the end we've got a big group of reds together. So we're looking for that big cluster of reds, and in this case it actually wraps round to the bottom of the pack, and we know the first black card after that group of reds should be the spectator's chosen card, the 6 of clubs. You can then of course reveal that however you like. So that's the tutorial of the classic version of this great trick. Now a few of you may be saying, CrashMagic, during your performance I saw the faces of the cards a couple of times and they weren't all separated into red and black, and that is the minor change that I made to the trick. So that I could purposely flash the faces of the cards a few times during the trick, instead of separating the cards into reds and blacks, I separated them by suit instead. So I put the clubs and hearts together and the diamonds and spades together, and then I put the clubs and hearts on top. So then you can do the trick exactly the same as before. You get the spectator to split the cards into the 3 piles. They shuffle the first pile, shuffle the second pile, look at the bottom card, which in this case is the king of spades, and then finally shuffle the last pile and put that on top. So this time when we look through the pack, we can see a group of mixed suits. So there's diamonds, hearts, spades and clubs sort of all together. Then here we've just got clubs and hearts. So we know the first spade or diamond after this group of clubs and hearts is going to be the spectator's card, the king of spades. So using this setup rather than red-black just means that although you still might not want the spectator to closely examine the cards, you can allow them to see flashes of the cards during the trick, or even do a quick ribbon spread at the end of the trick. I'm sure you can come up with some even more devious setups that you could use. Well, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. If you've got any comments, leave them down below, and see you soon.